Adaptive randomization in clinical trials means the probability of assignment can change as the study progresses, using information that builds up over time. Instead of holding allocation at a fixed ratio throughout, the design allows later participants to be assigned with different probabilities as evidence starts to emerge. The aim is not to remove randomization, but to make it more responsive while still preserving interpretability and protecting against bias. Now that matters because teams are often trying to balance several competing priorities. There may be an ethical pull to reduce allocation to an option that is starting to look less favorable. There may also be a scientific reason to learn more efficiently, especially when participant numbers are limited or treatment effects may differ across patient groups. One important distinction is between adapting to observed responses and simply balancing baseline factors. Response adaptive randomization changes allocation using outcomes observed during the trial. Other methods focus on balancing characteristics such as age, disease severity, or biomarker status at baseline. These ideas can be combined in covariate-adjusted response, adaptive randomization, often called CARA. In that setting, the design is not only asking which treatment looks better overall, it's estimating which treatment may be more suitable for the next participant based on their individual profile. And that's where the difference between prognostic and predictive information becomes important. A prognostic marker tells you something about likely outcome regardless of treatment, while a predictive marker suggests the treatment effect itself may differ between groups. Now, for patient characteristics-driven adaptation to be meaningful, there needs to be a credible basis for prediction, not simply a marker of higher or lower risk. Now, in practical terms, the process works as a loop. The model uses the data accumulated so far, sometimes alongside carefully weighted prior information, to estimate expected outcomes under each treatment for the next participant. It then converts those estimates into allocation probabilities. So randomization is retained, but the probabilities may tilt towards the option predicted to perform better. And as outcomes accrue, the model updates and the process repeats. As such, many designs begin with a burn-in period of equal allocation, so early estimates are less unstable. So the appeal is clear, but the limitations are just as important. If allocation tilts too far, key comparisons can lose precision. Time trends can also become a serious problem. If background care, recruitment patterns, or patient mix change during the study, while allocation is also shifting, treatment effects can become confounded with calendar time. And operationally, the approach depends on receiving informative outcomes quickly enough to support meaningful updates. If endpoints arrive too slowly, the adaptation may be driven by incomplete or misleading signals. Trial integrity also matters. If interim patterns become inferable to those involved in conduct, subtle bias can creep into recruitment, assessment, or deviations. For that reason, adaptive randomization is only a good fit when the objective is clear, the update rules are pre-specified, simulations are done early, and the trial has the data flow and governance needed to support the design properly. In some settings, especially rare disease or trials with plausible treatment affect heterogeneity across measured characteristics, it can be a useful option. In others, a simpler fixed design, stratified randomization, or fixed unequal allocation may be more robust. So, adaptive randomization earns its value when the added complexity helps answer the question more clearly, not when it makes the trial harder to defend. To learn how Quanticate can support your next trial, email inquiries@quanticate.com or request a consultation through our website. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more practical insights on clinical trials and modern drug development.